morning, good afternoon, evening, welcome to you. Welcome to Robbo Lands Vids. That's the Yamaha AECR, is it? AEC3R. AEC3R, flipping brilliant. Yes, welcome to Robbo Lands Vids. My name's Rob Wheatley, and yeah, I'll put a new bridge saddle on this. Quick update. Bone. Bridge saddle. Lowered the action a bit. Flipping awesome. I still might do the nut, but that's great. I'm loving that guitar. I've also lowered the action on this one, the PRS parlor guitar. Put another bone nut in that. Lowered that. That's come out a treat. Very, very nice. Happy. Oh, look. We were talking the other week about various guitars, obviously, on Jim's live stream, Audio Mo. If you don't know Audio Mo Music, go check it out. Awesome channel. Congratulations to Jim as well for hitting, I think, over 2,000 subs now and over 500,000 views. So well done to him, fully deserved. We were talking about various things, and I mentioned my old Fender Bullet, you see. We're going to talk about Relic guitars, by the way. I should mention this before we start. I am going to talk about Relic guitars. So I will say before we start, play what you love and love what you play. You know, if you love Relic guitars, that's fine. You're wrong, but it's fine. No, look, it's fine. It really is. Cheers. Look. But I'm going to talk about Relic guitars and what I you know, feel free to put in the comments whatever you like about them. If you, there was a recent poll, I think it was Anderton's did one. It was like over 50% of people liked Relic guitars. So I'm in the minority here, as always. And talking about in the minority, Dave McCallum, you can just see him peering over there, staring violently into a glass of water because I've got the wine. So Italian Negramaro from Puglia in Italy. 14%. 14%. Count them. I don't count them. Anyway, look. First of all, before we talk about Relic guitars, I'm going to talk about one of my old guitars, which is this thing I mentioned the other week, and it caused a bit of confusion. It says on there, Fender. It's a telly-shaped headstock, and it says Bullet on it. And this is a USA 1981 Fender Bullet. Look at that flipping thing. It's very red. It's a little bit narrower than a normal Telecaster. I've been looking this up on Wikipedia. This is one of the Mark 1 versions. So USA Fullerton built. It was designed to take the place of the Mustang and another guitar, I can't remember what it was called, Music Master or something like that. It's designed to take the place of those as their budget student model guitar. Would have been about 199 bucks without a hard case, 249 with in 1982. A Strat would have been about 600, 650, something like that. So that's what you're looking at. I don't know if it's an actual Telecaster neck. It's 25.5 inch scale, but it is a bit like a squash Telecaster, single cut. Very odd. 25.5 inch scale, very, very narrow neck on it. It's very quite narrow and chunky, I guess vintagey. I'll go into how buggered this guitar is in a minute. This was my guitar that I used throughout the, I got, this was, I say 1981. I got it in, I think, probably 1984. And the person that had it before didn't play at all. I paid, I think it was either 110 or 130 pound for it, a UK pound at the time. So God knows what that works out. You can work it out for yourself, or not bother. Cheers. What can I say about it? It was look like, if you don't know if you can see the niceness on that neck, all nice and grainy and stuff. I probably can't because the lighting in here is ridiculous and I've put it all out of focus, but very nice, very worn. You'll see it's got two single coils, possibly Mustang pickups, who knows. They're certainly the Mustang pickup covers because they were lying around in the factory at the time and that's what they used. The electronics are all USA. It's Fullerton built, as I say, all and three-way switch. Guitar. Twangy as a flipping thing. Really ludicrously twangy this. It's got all that Telecaster twang, maybe not quite the bottom end of a Telecaster, but it flipping awesome. The bridge, the scratch plate, sorry, is all metal, big lump of metal with all the electronics attached to it. These aren't the original volume and tone pots. I don't know what happened to those. These were what were on there when I got it. But the back of the bridge here is angled upwards. You can see this bit here is actually part of the metal bridge, and that's where the strings go through. See? Now, because this is this Relic, right? this was the guitar I used throughout the 1980s, a lot of the 1990s, up until probably about 99, 2000, something like that, when I got the Epiphone Les Paul and an amp and a Marshall amp and some pedals and that. And this was just impossible to use at the time. So the action had got so bad, I think the neck needs re-shimming at least. I mean, it got used. This was a workhorse guitar. This was my guitar. It didn't get treated like anything special. It was what was used. I mean, I've got a hard case for it, but that's the hinges are completely gone, completely rotten on that. It's almost there. The neck's reattached. It does need shimming. It's going to need sorting out. I think the jack socket is a bit wobbly, because if you push the jack all the way in, nothing happens. If you pull it out a bit, it goes, but you can hear stuff. So all the wiring's all good. This went in a box. This went back in its case about 20 years ago and didn't come out for about 10 years. And it's been back in there for the last 10 years. I've had it all to bits just to see what's what, and it all works, as I say. Just needs sorting out. But you can see, when you buy a Relic guitar, right, there's all paint coming off here, usually. Loads of paint come off here, you see. Loads down here normally. And fair enough, it's got a scratch plate. And look, I have rotted through this. You can see where all the paint has bubbled up. That is from my alien sweat. But also, see this back part on the back here, it's not the natural shape it should be, because I used to sweat on it so much that all this bit completely rusted away, and I had to get in there with a little mini grinder and just grind it all away a little while ago. You know, I'm not one of these people that say, oh, I've got to keep it absolutely immaculate. This was a working guitar, and when this is back up and running, this will be used again, and it's not something precious. So it's that's the idea of it. It sounds good. It used to play really all right. I mean, I knew nothing different. Well, I did. I had an electric guitar before that, which I might show you. So this needs sorting out. But it's the biggest thing that's killed this guitar is basically sweat, right? It's not the paint coming off. It's sweat. It's got into the switches. It's like made them really hard, and there's grit in there. There's like salt build up in there. All these are completely like effing rotten. All these bridge posts, you know, I could buy new ones, but I could just scrape those off with some sandpaper, which is what I'm going to do, because that'll get them working again. And I don't care about this being an immaculate guitar. It's still got all the paint on here. Still got all the paint on here. Not a lot of real rock and roller, eh? Because if you're a real rock and roller, you got a Relic guitar because you're a real rock and roller. Stop it, Rob. You haven't started. So, look, all the clues on tuners. The one at the top. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on the camera. There you go. There it is, completely rotted. That's completely rotted through, and that one's halfway through as well. Completely rotted from years of playing, and all the peg heads. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they're all just completely bubbled up. Completely bubbled up. All the chrome's almost off. They're rough as hell. You could sand a plank of wood with that. You'd really cut your arm off. That is ridiculous, that one. That's like a shark's tooth, that is. So that's what... But I'm obviously not a real rock and roller because I've still got all the paint on mine, you see. So I've not got all the paint off here. And I've not got all the paint off here. Do you know why? Because when I play the guitar, I don't go, no, 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 down there. I do it over the strings. But I'm not a real rock and roller, am I? Because I haven't got a Relic guitar. So that's that. That's the Bullet. That will be done up at some point. I want to find someone that I can get locally, hopefully, to do what needs doing. Neck needs taking off, re-shimming. Hope I don't need another neck for it, because God knows where you would get one from. I don't think it's a Telecaster neck. Again, I don't really care if it's the most playable thing in the world. If it gets back up and running and it's usable and it's not fighting against me too much, that will be fine. Nice one. Excellent. Yeah, so... do you know what happens when you buy a Relic guitar, right? You get artisans. Like, why did people come up with this idea? It's obviously blokes who like this sort of thing. I don't think women would be that stupid to invent something like a Relic guitar, really. But they have shabby chic. Women have shabby, where they buy something, they were going to do it as a project, and they can't be bothered really after all that, and they sell it half done and sell it as shabby chic for more than they paid for it. See, they're bloody thinking, isn't it? It's bloody thinking, that is. So suddenly one day someone was in a pub and they're going, oh look, what can we sell? Oh look, you know, Well, they were talking about blokes' underpants, was what they were talking about. How you know, blokes like to keep their underpants for years, and all the battle scars, and all I think that's what, and all the wear and the relicing, you know. And so I said, oh God, that'd be great. We could do that with guitars. We got a load in the custom shop we can't sell because we fell over, and we got bits. So the artisans, what they do, they're making these beautiful guitars all week. You see. These gorgeous guitars, and then on Friday they've hit all their targets, so they all go down the pub lunchtime, and they're all sitting there and they're all drinking and they're laughing and they get back to the factory, you see, and they say, oh look, I've got this old, we can't sell this perfect Stratocaster because it's got a tiny little dent in it, just like that big. They're all drinking and laughing. One of them says, here, I'll catch this, and he throws like a belt sander at him, turns it on, he picks up the guitar, defends himself with it, they're all drinking and laughing. Relic guitar, put it in a box, sell it for 3,000 quid. Job's good. And so what Relic guitars have is all the paint missing. This is a Relic guitar. This is probably from the 1930s, this thing. The state of this. Every single bit of it is split. The back's coming off. Look, buckle rash. If you're a real rock and roller with a real Relic guitar. Look, are you Keith Richards or are you Keith Harris? For those of you who don't know, Keith Harris was a so-called family, so-called entertainer in the so-called 70s and 80s. He was famous mostly for having his hand sticking up a duck's bottom. Luckily, he was a ventriloquist. Not a very good one. He was such a bad ventriloquist. I can't even say it. There's so much, and he was such a bad comedian. One time at one of his shows, a coachload of deaf people came in and they understood every word. And they didn't laugh once. So, are you Keith Richards or Keith Harris? Are you standing there, Madison Square Garden, like a real rock and roller, Madison Square Gardens, Wembley Stadium, or are you in your bedroom with your mum's transistor radio at 0.002 watts, but you've got to have it cranked like past 7 to get it distorted? You're going, oh, Timothy, it's too loud, Timothy, it's too loud. You're going, mother, I'm Keith Richards. She's going, no, you're not Timothy. Take your hand out of the duck's bottom. You go, oh, mother. This guitar, factory condition. I mean, this is the one I used before the Bullet. I got this one in about 1982 probably, 1983. This satellite Les Paul, did loads of gigs with this. I think I supported John Otway twice with this guitar as well. Factory condition. Completely perfect condition. There's not a mark on it. You'd never even know that's how it came out of the factory. So, there you go. That's that one for you. Every single bit of that has been changed by God knows what. Anyway, so that's a Relic guitar. Notice all the paint is still there, you see. Still there. Imagine if you go to a rehearsal, right, and you turn up there with your ripped jeans and your Relic guitar because you're a real rock and roller, right, and you got all the paint. I saw a video recently. There was a bloke, right, brilliant guitar player. I can't remember his name. Oh, I wish I could, but really good video. And he's got his guitar was one of the best sounding electric guitars I've ever heard. It sounded amazing. It's like Telecaster with a humbucker in the front and whatever in the back. But it was this heavily relicked. It was so, all the paint was off it. It was like someone had given it a Brazilian. There's just like a bit of paint down the thing. Why do people talk about nitrous? No, I want a nitrous guitar because all the paint comes off. The paint's there to protect it. Yeah, but I want all the paint to come off. Why do you want, what, so you want them to paint it with something that's not actually fit for purpose? Why would you do that? Why would you, oh, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. I'm going to buy a Lamborghini frickin' Gallardo, right? Excellent value. Oh, sir, would you like the Michelin frickin' Pro Bollard frickin' tyres, the Carlos Fandangos, or would you like the, you know, the Pirelli Pro frickin' ones or whatever the hell they're called? No, thank you. I'd like the cheapest Chinese ones you can get, please. Why is that? Well, because when I drive around a corner at like 300 miles an hour, I want all the tread to come off like a real rock and roller, so I can spin up, turn upside down and burst into flames. Oh, that sounds excellent, sir. And by the way, can you get your artisan blooming mechanics down there to drag a few body panels and kick the crap out of them, pour paint thinners all over them? I like it to look like it's a bit Relic. Of course we can, sir. For an extra £3,000, you can get a bucket of sick and pour that in the back seat. Oh, that's excellent. That's real rock and roll. Have you ever died from choking on your own vomit? No. Are you a real rock? Are you Keith Harris? Do you have your hand up a duck's bottom? I think these are important questions, as I say. So Relic guitars really are a matter of taste, and play what you love and love what you play. Well, that's only half of the people offended, isn't it? The next video. Take it easy. There may or may not be a looper jam now. Who knows? I tried to do one earlier, but I used a bass, and it was just, you know, why would someone do that? That's another 20%. That's excellent. Great. Take care. See you on the next one. There may be a looper jam. There may not. Keep watching. You've switched off hours ago. Cheers.